Welcome back, Egyptology lovers. Today we're going to do another translation of a stela. This time it is the Stela of Kay, the head of the desert hunters. That's what it describes him as, and a few other things. So a little information about the stela. This is acquired in 1928 in Luxor, and now is located at the Berlin Museum. This stela was found at Qamula, is what the origin was given, north of Thebes. Also, it has a very nice style, which is representative of the 12th dynasty. The carvings and the writing pretty much puts it in the Middle Kingdom of 1976 to 1912 BC. It's not a very tall stone. It's about 76 by 34 by 9 centimeters tall. So the explanation of what's happening here in the visual is what we have is raised relief that sticks out, not sinks in, as you see is in the hieroglyphs. And a relief of Kay, who is the chief of the desert police, accompanied by an unnamed woman. Usually they have their hieroglyphs next to them, but this time they don't. Now this is assumed to be his wife or mother, Beshet, and 2 hunting dogs below here. They're both wearing wigs because it was very common to wear wigs and shave your head to avoid lice or other infections. And they're wearing white linen cloth, as well as a collar on their necks. So a collar here and a collar there, very indicative to Egyptian style. Up in the corner of the man is a row of 4 stone vessels right over here. Vessels of perfume or oil, it doesn't indicate, but including one is the shape of the hetem, which is right over here. So we know that could refer to some type of vessel, could be oil or perfume. Now these are usually perfumes, these are usually oils. Now below his feet, you can see 3 extra dogs in recumbent style. They're just kind of sitting down below him. So he has a total of 5 dogs. Now the inscription on top is designed to give offerings to Kay for his afterlife and recount his services to the king by patrolling the western oasis and tracking down fugitives. His titles are given as head of the desert hunters and the head of the western hunters. And the report Kay gives does not suggest that the hunt for a particular criminal, but rather a police control that is sent to the oasis to establish order. That's what it does over here. So in the hieroglyphic text, it says how Kay had proceeded to the western oasis. So the western oasis, you have 2 oases to the west from Thebes. That's Dakhla or Karga oasis, as the Alamatal Road is what we know it by now. And he would most probably go with his dogs, and he would have troops behind him that would follow on behalf of the king. Now, the type of breed of these dogs is identified as sight hounds by their characteristic pointy ears and curly tails. Now, a very important observation of the stela is that the names, like I said, of the people are not indicated next to them, but the dogs are. They were a bit slightly reconstructed, but again, it's a fair estimate of what they could be called each dog, and we're going to go through the names of each dog, and then we're going to go proceed to the hieroglyphic translation afterwards. So the first dog that was given the name here is known as Menjui. This is the best approximation, which means many teats. The next dog over here has a number 5 strokes, which refers to Nu 5, or 5 Nu, which is like Quintus. It's like saying the name of Quintus. Then down here we have the name of Hen Wewet, which is possibly referring to the breed of the dog. And the fourth dog is known as Nu 6 or 6 Nu, or the 6th, like Sextus, so it could be the 6th dog. And finally we have Ibu. Not sure what the translation means there, but that's Ibu. And their names are indicated next to each one of them. So the translation on top here, which begins from right to left, and it's going to proceed down the rows. This is a translation based on Rudolf Anthes from 1930, with addition of Tanya Blake, as well at McMary University or McCary University. So starting on the very right over here, we have a pretty standard offering formula known as the Hetep Di Nesu, which is basically saying an offering given by the king, or the king offering gives, to the god Anubis. Now, the god Anubis is a jackal form of god, a type of hound, which of course makes sense that Kay would honor him because of his hounds. And then there's 3 titles of Anubis that are very common, which is he who's upon the mountain, who is in the embalming place, who is the lord of the sacred, these are together, land. Then comes the offering, which is a voice offering of bread. That little one is bread, that little one is beer. Then the word 1,000 or the number 1,000, 1,000 of ox or meat and fowl, which means poultry, and bread or all type of offerings. Now down here we have the inscription referring to who this is. This is now the revered one or the venerable one, the overseer of the hunters of the desert, and then the overseer of the western desert. And here it says Beshet's son, which we assume is Beshet right over here. Beshet's son, Kai. Kai right over here. And then the standard true of voice, which is like rest in peace because this refers to someone who is deceased. Now continuing to the third row, it says, words spoken, I am the hero or the common person of the strike, the leader of the army on the day of the distress, on the day of the distress. So this is referring to what he had to do for the king. The praises of his Lord for his commands. I went to the western oasis, referring to either Dakla or Karga, and I searched. Now you have to come down here to the fifth row, all its ways. So one more time. I searched all its ways. Then what he did afterwards is I brought all the fugitives which I found in it, and the army was safe. So the people, he went there, he found the fugitives, brought them back, and the army that he took with him were safe as well. Nobody got hurt. And continuing down here, and there was no loss of it. So nothing was lost, nobody had perished. And what was entrusted to me came back in peace. Then I was ordered, continuing down here, by my Lord to be their protection or in their protection. So now he became their protector and guardian of the troops. As his trusted of his servant of the heart or his servant's heart for the administration. And then it continues, for I or because I did or I have done the commission of my Lord. And then it continues to the praised, the revered or venerable, Kai, true of voice. And that's the inscription. Well, I hope you loved the translation. Please check out my other videos as well. Like, follow, subscribe, share this with your friends and let them know if they like hieroglyphic inscription. Check out my YouTube. It has a lot more inscriptions as well as my TikTok and my feed. Thanks everybody for watching and take care.